Good morning, students. Today we are going to take up chemistry in everyday life. This is unit 16 and we are going to take up part 1. Chemistry has influenced our life so much that we do not even realize that we come across chemicals at every moment. Almost all our daily activities are controlled by chemicals. Now, when you get up early in the morning, you have a glass of water, then you go in for brushing your teeth, you use the toothpaste, the toothbrush. These are all made up of chemicals. The food items which you take, they also contain chemicals. When you get dressed for the school, you see the school uniform, the school bag, the books in it, all are gift of chemistry. Then you catch a bus to reach the school. All the parts of the bus like tire, glass, the whole body of the bus, everything is a gift of chemistry. There are many other things also which we use in our daily life which is a gift of chemistry. The specs, pencil, pen, ink, raincoats, mobiles, laptops, sweaters, and then finally when you reach the school, you can look at the school building. The materials used for building the school, everything is a gift of chemistry and they are all chemicals. The ceramic cups, saucers, tea, coffee, all are chemicals. Now in this chapter, we are going to deal with applications of chemistry in 3 important and interesting areas, namely medicine, food materials and cleansing agents. So we have a look at all the things we use in our daily life. Now importance of chemistry in our daily life we will take in different fields like cleanliness. The materials like soaps, detergents, bleaches, toothpaste, etc. will come to our mind. And when we think of clothing, we remember the synthetic fibers and chemicals giving them colors. Okay. Next, food materials. You can see carbohydrates, fats, proteins, calcium, iron, magnesium, zinc, potassium, and all the vitamins. They are all chemicals. When you think of sickness, it reminds us of medicines. Medicines are all chemicals. Then there are many other things also like explosives, rocket propellants, electronic components like you have switches, battery, etc. The building materials like bricks, cement, concrete, glass, etc. These are all gifts of chemistry. They are all chemicals. Now we come to the main topic, that is drugs. Now you have to remember that drugs are chemical substances of low molecular masses. They have low molecular mass. Now before we go into the definition of medicines, you have to know what is the basic difference between a drug and a medicine. Now what is the basic difference is that medicine is also used for curing the disease. Drug is also a chemical substance that cures disease. Both are the same thing. They are chemical substances used to cure the disease. But medicine does not cause addiction. And what about drugs? It causes addiction and has serious side effects. Like for example, we take penicillin. Penicillin is an antibacterial agent and heroin is a painkiller. Both are used to cure the disease. Okay, one is an antibacterial agent and the other one is a painkiller. But penicillin is not habit forming. And if you look at heroin, it has addictive properties. Okay, and a person will become addicted to taking of heroin. So the difference is clear, I hope. Medicine and drugs, there is a difference. Both can cure the disease, but medicine is not addictive and drugs are addictive in nature. Now, drugs interact with macromolecular targets to produce biological response. Okay, so you have to remember drugs interact with macromolecular targets to produce what? Biological response. Means response on living things. So whenever we take a drug, it will produce a biological response. Like suppose you are taking a painkiller, it will reduce the pain. So that is the biological response. And what are macromolecular targets? Macromolecular targets are the carbohydrates, proteins, nucleic acids and lipids. Okay. Now we define medicines. Drugs are called as medicines if the biological response is therapeutic or healing in nature. Means if the drug is having a healing nature, then it is called as a medicine. Medicines are used in diagnosis, prevention and treatment of diseases. And you have to remember that if medicines are taken in doses higher than that which is recommended, it may become poison. Another term, chemotherapy. It is a branch of chemistry dealing with treatment of disease using suitable chemicals. So branch of chemistry which treats diseases using chemicals is called as chemotherapy. Now we have the next topic, that is classification of drugs. Now there are 4 different types of drugs based upon different facts. First type is on the basis of pharmacological effect. Second is on the basis of drug action. Third is on the basis of chemical structure. Fourth on the basis of molecular targets. Now we take the first one. Pharmacological effect actually means treatment, or in other words we can say that physiological or biological changes produced in the body by a drug. Now what happens? On the basis of pharmacological effect, we can get a whole range of drugs available for treatment of a particular disease. Now whole range of drugs means we will have variety of drugs in that particular range. Like example, analgesics. There are different analgesics. Analgesics are medicines used to reduce pain. So you will have a whole range of drugs which can act as analgesics, and their function is to reduce pain. Means their physiological or biochemical change which they produce is to reduce the pain. So they are categorized as analgesics or painkillers. Another type is antiseptics. Antiseptics are used to kill microorganisms. You know, several antiseptics are there. Okay, but their physiological or biological changes which they produce are similar. So all the antiseptics come under the same category, means they are killing the microorganisms. So that is the first type. Then second classification is based on drug action. Now, action of a drug on a particular biochemical process is the basis of this classification. Okay, we have to see that where the drug is acting upon. For example, we are having antihistamines. Antihistamines are drugs which inhibit means prevents the action of histamines. Antihistamines prevent the action of histamines. And what are histamines? Histamines cause inflammation or allergy, and the drugs which act upon the histamine is called as antihistamines. So on the basis of drug action also we can classify the drugs. Third classification is on the basis of chemical structure. Now we have to remember that if drugs have common structural features, they have similar action. Okay, we will take the examples in detail later. So the meaning is that if same chemical structure is there for drugs, they have similar action. Next is on the basis of molecular target. Okay, now selection of drug is always linked with the nature of target. Nature of target on which the drug is going to act upon. Okay, for example, enzyme deficiency causes many disorders in our body. Therefore, enzymes act as target for most of the drugs. So this classification is based upon the molecular targets on which the drug acts upon. Now again, this classification we are going into detail on the basis of pharmacological effect. Pharmacological means treatment. It is useful to doctors because it provides them a whole range of drugs for treating a particular type of disease or infection. Like analgesics. you have a wide range of medicines which have pain killing effect. Antiseptics, you have a wide range of antiseptics which can arrest the growth of microorganisms. You have antiseptic, you can see here on Dettol it is written antiseptic, Savlon is antiseptic. So you have a wide range, and this is a painkiller, that is the Brufen. On the basis of drug action, it is based on the action of drug on a particular biochemical process, means where it is acting upon. So as explained earlier, antihistamines inhibit the action of compound histamine, and histamine is a compound which causes inflammation in the body or allergy. So the anti-allergic medicines, they are based upon the action of drug. So antihistamines prevent the inflammation or allergy in our body. On the basis of chemical structure, now you can see here sulfonamides have common structural feature and they have similar action, that is they are antibacterial in nature. Is it clear? Sulfonamides have common structural feature and they have similar action, that they are having antibacterial property. Now the next classification is on the basis of molecular targets. What are target molecules or drug targets? These are actually biomolecules such as carbohydrates, lipids, proteins, nucleic acids with which the drugs usually interact. Means the substances with which the drugs interact, they are called as target molecules or drug targets. For example, enzymes act as target for most of the drugs, and this classification is most useful for medicinal chemists. Now we move on to drug target interaction. Means here we are going to see that how a drug is interacting with an enzyme. So before we go into interaction of drug with enzyme, we should know how enzyme catalyzes a reaction. So we'll see that, and this we have already studied in surface chemistry chapter. Catalytic action of enzyme. Now you have to remember there are two main functions of enzyme. First function is to bind the substrate at the active site. Okay, means the active site of the enzyme holds the substrate, and the interactions are variety, such as ionic bonding, hydrogen bonding, van der Waals interaction, or dipole-dipole interaction. So what happens? In the first step, the substrate binds to the active site of the enzyme here. And second function of the enzyme is to provide functional groups that will attack the substrate and carry out the reaction. So these are the two functions. First function is to provide active site and get binded with the substrate, and second is to attack to provide functional group to the substrate. Okay, the second function is to provide functional group that will attack the substrate and carry out the chemical reaction. Now when we take drugs, these activities are supposed to be affected. We are actually seeing that how a drug interacts with the enzyme. Now we are taking drug enzyme interaction. Now what are enzyme inhibitors? These are drugs which inhibit the two activities of enzymes. Just now we have seen the two activities, the first activity and the second activity. Okay, this is the first and this is the second activity. So what the drugs do, they inhibit the two activities of enzyme by blocking the binding site of the enzyme and prevent the binding of the substrate and can inhibit the catalytic activity of enzyme. Okay, so what it is doing, it will block, the drug will block this site and it will inhibit the catalytic activity of enzyme. Now drug inhibits the activity of an enzyme in two different ways. Now we have to see what are the two different ways. First is competitive inhibitor. There are drugs which compete with the substrate. You can see here the drug is competing to get into the active site, and with whom it is competing? it is competing with the substrate. So you can see it wins over the substrate and it takes the place of the substrate. So these type of inhibitors are called as competitive inhibitors. So these drugs compete with the natural substrate for the attachment on the active sites of enzymes. They are doing a competition with the substrate. So they are called as competitive inhibitors. And what they do? They compete and take the place of the substrate. Drug and substrate competing for active site of enzyme. Drug blocks the active site of the enzyme. Now there are non-competitive inhibitors also. These drugs do not bind to the enzyme's active site. You can see here the drug is not binding at the active site, but it is going into another site. And because it enters another site, the shape of the active site changes. And this point where it attaches is called as allosteric site. Allosteric site. So these drugs do not bind to the enzyme's active site. These bind at a different site of the enzyme, which is called as allosteric site. So how to define allosteric site? It is a different site other than the enzyme's active site where the drugs binds with the enzyme. Okay, it is a site different than the active site where the drug binds with the enzyme. This binding of inhibitor at the allosteric site changes the shape of the active site. And due to change in shape of the active site, the substrate is unable to recognize it. So substrate will not attack it because now the shape has changed and the substrate is not able to recognize it. So you can see here active site with changed shape, allosteric site, and this is the inhibitor. This is non-competitive inhibitor because it is not competing with the inhibitor. Now how the drug works, that we have to see. If the bond between enzyme and the inhibitor is strong covalent bond and cannot be broken easily, then what happens? The enzyme is blocked permanently. And if enzyme is blocked permanently, the body then degrades that enzyme inhibitor complex. And once it degrades, then what the body does? It synthesizes new enzyme. This is how the drug acts upon. Now, we have already studied receptors as enzymes. We have studied, just now we have taken up that enzymes as the drug targets. Okay, we took how the drug targets on the enzyme. Now next topic is receptors as drug targets. So actually in this chapter we are dealing with two drug targets. First is enzymes, which is over, and now the second drug target is receptors. Receptors are proteins that are important for body's communication process. And you have to remember that receptors are embedded in the cell membrane. And receptor proteins are embedded in the cell membrane in such a way that their small part possessing active site projects out of the surface of the membrane and opens to the outside region of the cell membrane. You can see they open up to the outside region of the cell membrane. Now, chemicals known as chemical messengers are received at the binding site of the receptor proteins. So chemical messengers are here, they are received at the site of the protein. To accommodate a messenger, shape of the receptor site changes, and this brings about transfer of message into the cell. Okay. Now, what do you mean by transfer of message? Messages are passed on between two neurons or the nerve cells and between neurons to muscles, and this is communicated by chemical messengers. And where are the chemical messengers received? They are received at the binding site of the receptor proteins. Okay, receptor proteins are on the surface of the membrane. So the chemical messenger gives message to the cell without entering the cell. Large number of different receptors in the body that interact with different chemical messengers are there. There are different receptors and they interact with different chemical messengers, and receptors show selectivity for one chemical messenger over the other because their binding sites have different shape, structure and amino acid composition. So this is again the same thing. Now, drugs are divided into two types, antagonists and agonists. Now, what is antagonist? These are drugs which bind to the receptor site and inhibit its natural function. And agonists are drugs which mimic means imitate the natural chemical messengers by switching on the receptors. And these drugs are useful when blocking of message is required. And these drugs are useful when lack of natural chemical messengers are there. We repeat again, drugs that bind to receptor site and inhibit the natural function, they are antagonist, and drugs which mimic or imitate the natural chemical messengers by switching on the receptors are called as agonist, and they are useful for blocking of messages, and they are useful when there is lack of natural chemical messengers. So two main differences between the two types of drugs can be seen here.